ladies, welcome back to another Teby Styles video. My name is Teresa, and as always, I'm super excited that you joined me today. Listen, here at Teby Styles, I make content for women in their 30s and beyond. Don't worry, if you are not quite 30 yet or a little bit further on the beyond side of things, I'm sure there's something here that you can find of value to you. So today's video is all about an article that I read at businessinsider.com. What's the name of that article, you may be asking? It's 20 things to master before you turn the age of 40. Once again, 20 things to master before you turn the age of 40. Don't worry, I'm not going to go over all 20 things in this video because that will take literally all day. There will be a part 2. When that's going to go up, I'm not quite sure, but I'll cover 10 topics today and then we'll cover 10 in part 2 of this video. The first topic on the list is negotiating. Yes, the art of negotiating. Do you guys negotiate when it's time to advocate for yourself, when it's time to strike a big deal, whether it be buying a car, whether it be negotiating a salary? Do you negotiate? Well, honestly, that's something that I have not quite mastered, so I'm going to give myself a thumbs down. Prime example was just this year, or actually last year, I got a promotion at my full-time job and I had the opportunity to negotiate my salary. I had talked myself up for all the days leading into the offer about what I was gonna say, what I was gonna do if I did get the job. However, once the offer came across the table, I just accepted. I didn't negotiate, I didn't try to get 1 cent more than what they offered me. That was a lesson for me. What I'm gonna do going forward is I'm certainly gonna work on negotiating, advocating for myself a bit more so that I can get myself a raise even before I start the new job. Number 2 on the list of things to master before turning the age of 40 is establishing a regular sleep schedule. Guys, this is something that I thought that I had mastered a long time ago. However, your girl is struggling sometimes. I am struggling. It really depends on what my day was like, what all I did, if I can wind down appropriately. But sometimes I'm in the bed before 10, get my full 8 hours of rest before work the next morning. Then there's other nights where I am tossing and turning until 12 a.m. and I'm only getting about 5 or 6 hours of sleep. If you guys have figured out how to get a full 8 hours of sleep, trust and believe that I'm just a little bit jealous, but hopefully it's something that I can master. Number 3 on the list of things to master before turning the age of 40 is making small talk at parties. First of all, it's a pandemic and who's going to parties? But I'm sure this article was probably written well before the pandemic started. And honestly, guys, I am probably one of the most antisocial people that you'll ever meet. I'm awkward and I have not mastered the art of small talk at parties, at work, in just a group of people, period. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a big fat thumbs down on this one and say that it's something that I definitely need to work on. People skills are important. They can take you a long way. You just never know who you may bump into, and small talk can be as simple as how was the weather, right? And for me, guys, a lot of times that can be a little bit tough, but like I said, I do have some room to grow, and yeah, thumbs down on the small talk for me. Number 4 on the list of things to master before turning the age of 40. Once again, this list can be found at businessinsider.com. I'll be sure to link it down in the description box below if you're interested in reading the full article for yourself. Number 4 on the list is finding and sticking to an exercise routine that you enjoy. Guys, how hard is this, right? You find yourself being super motivated, super pumped about working out, just to find yourself weeks later, sometimes days later, laying on the couch saying, I don't feel like doing it today. Your girl, meaning myself, I'm talking about myself here, I am guilty as charged. Now, I will say that I have found a style of exercise that I like, and that's working out at home. I love creating workout routines for myself. I am not a gym rat by any means, but I just love working out from home. It's just fun for me. I feel the most free when I'm doing it. But as far as consistency, I still have work to do, but I am going to give myself a thumbs up on this one because I have been doing pretty good with this lately. I've been getting most of the times anywhere between 8 to 10,000 steps per day, keeping track of it on this bad boy here, and I have been working out at least 3 times a week just to burn some extra calories and to get that cardio in. So I will say that I have mastered this to some degree. Let me know in the comments box below if you found an exercise routine that works for you. Number 5 on the list of things to master before turning the age of 40 is finding your career sweet spot. And honestly, I think I've mastered this. In my current role in human resources, there's so many different opportunities that I've found. I love my job. I love the people that I work with. I love what I do, and I love the company that I work for. So I would definitely say that I have mastered this area of my life. Now, there's always room to grow, which is what I plan to do, right? Like I said, my job is super flexible, and I am always looking for new opportunities within the company, and when they arise, I go after them. It's okay. It's absolutely okay if you have not found your career sweet spot as of yet. If you find yourself just kind of hopping around from job to job, there is still time, no matter how old you are, right? If you're 25, if you're 55, if you're 65, it doesn't matter. As long as you have breath in your body, there's still time to find that career sweet spot. And honestly, it may not be working for someone else. You may find comfort in working for yourself. But whatever it is that makes you happy, just do it. So yeah, I've mastered this. The next item on the list is a big one, especially at age 35 like I am. And then if you are 25 and older, I'd say that this is a big one. Number 6 is saving for retirement. It's never too early or too late to start saving for retirement. This is something that I actually learned later in life. And when I say later in life, I mean like a couple years ago. I've always heard people talk about how we should be saving money, saving for retirement. But honestly, it had to be something that I wanted to do and was able to do in a comfortable manner. Saving is not fun when you are stretching pennies just to save a dime, right? So for myself, yes, I've always heard about saving for retirement, but I actually had to be in a place mentally where I would not be depressed because I had this extra $50 going into an account that I can't touch, right? And I find myself now looking at my retirement accounts more often because I'm thinking about my future. And it's probably because I am a little bit older, but I am thinking about my future. I'm thinking about, what life is going to look like for me in 25, 30 years. Like, how much am I going to have in my 401k? How much am I going to have in other savings accounts that I have as well? But I will say that I'm a work in progress here. Like I said, I just started really working hard at saving and building up my retirement account about 2 years ago. So I'll give myself a side thumb on this one. I'm 35. So God willing, I still have plenty of time to get my accounts built to where they need to be. As long as you're working on it, right? As long as you are moving towards whatever your financial goals are, that's absolutely fine. You'll never get any pressure from me when it comes to money and saving because everyone's situation is different. And like I said, just a couple of years ago, I wasn't talking about 401ks and retirement accounts and all this stuff. Like, I had to do it when I was ready and when I was able. So for right now, I'll say that I'm working on it. There's room to grow, but I am well on my way to saving for retirement. Next on the list is investing in relationships. Now, I'm not talking about friendships, boyfriend, husband, wife, girlfriend. I'm talking about family, specifically family relationships. It's so important that you continue to work on those relationships. Continue to spend time with your loved ones. Pick up the phone every once in a while, right? I am super guilty of avoiding phone calls or not necessarily making phone calls as often as I should. I may not answer text messages or even send text messages when I should. So it's so important because life is so fragile. And you just never ever know when it may be the last time you talk to your loved one, right? It's hard to think about, but it's so real and it's so true. So you have to really take time to invest in those family relationships. If you have cousins or a mother or father, a grandmother, who's still living, you are super blessed. I am very blessed in the area of family. I have a very close-knit family. We love each other dearly, but honestly, we don't communicate enough. We don't see each other enough. And yes, that has a lot to do with COVID right now, but we can all do better. We can all do better on investing in those family relationships. We have those cousins that we don't see until family reunion time, those aunties and uncles that we don't see until a special occasion or a sad occasion. But right now is the time to start investing in those relationships with your family. There's always room for improvement, but I'll definitely give myself a thumbs up in this area. But I want to keep on working on investing in those relationships. Next on the list is keeping a clutter-free home. Keeping a clutter-free home. It seems easier said than done. I am going to say that I have not mastered this. I'm going to give myself a big fat thumbs down. You can probably see that I have some clutter right here on the bookshelf, books that I don't even read, books that we need to get rid of, just little trinkets and things like that. We just keep too many things. I have bags of clothes in the corner that I need to donate to Goodwill. Mind you, I packed them up months ago, but they're still sitting there because I haven't put them in the car and driven them to the Goodwill up the street. So no, I have not mastered the art of keeping a clutter-free home. I would love to hear your tips. What works for you? How do you keep your space nice and neat? Now, I'm not saying that my space isn't neat. I'm just saying that it's not clutter-free. You may find some extra mail tucked away here and there. You may find some extra clothes or shoes that I need to get rid of. But it's a constant work in progress, right? So I'm not going to say I'm a total failure at this. I just haven't mastered it. So I'm right here in between. I'm right here in between, and it's something that I'm definitely working on. And hopefully you guys, if you have the same problem, hopefully you're working on it as well. Next on the list, I actually started to leave this one for last, but I decided that I wouldn't do that. Number 9 is about saying no. Saying no. How many times have you done something for someone and you didn't necessarily feel like it? You didn't have the means or the resources, but you did it anyway. You said yes when you really wanted to say no. I'm guilty of this. I am so guilty of saying yes when I'm really feeling a no in my spirit. Okay. Saying no is there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying no. It's a 2-letter word, but it carries so much weight. Saying no protects your peace. Saying no can definitely keep you out of a situation that may have turned bad. Saying no can be a lifesaver, right? Oftentimes no gets a bad rep, but if you are all about self-care, taking care of yourself mentally, learn to start saying no. Stop giving people so much of you, right? And you get nothing in return. You end up burnt out, you end up stressed, you end up just feeling all out of whack. So sometimes no can be good. Get in the habit of saying no. Now, I'm not saying say no to everything and to everyone, but oftentimes if you just don't have it in you, whatever it is, just say no. It's okay. I'm telling you guys this, but I'm speaking this to myself as well. I am totally guilty, so I have not mastered this at all. I'm gonna give myself a thumbs down. I am a yes girl. I am a yes girl. I can do it even if I don't have time, right? I'll find the extra time in the day. Like, even if I still have 10 things to do at work and you ask me a question, I'm gonna stop the 10 things that I'm doing to help you work on what you need done. I am guilty as charged. But I promise you, going forward, I am going to work on doing this before I turn the age of 40. Lastly, but certainly not least, is practicing hobbies. Yes, number 10 on the list of things to master before turning the age of 40 is practicing hobbies. Do you guys have hobbies? I mean, as an adult, is there even a such thing as hobbies? I guess it could be, but that just tells you that I haven't quite found any extra hobbies. I guess for me, if I do think of a hobby, I guess YouTube could be a hobby. But when I think of hobbies, I think of like tangible activities, right? Like sewing and knitting or creating and crafting, and it's just not something that I do. So I'm gonna give myself a thumbs down on this. But creating hobbies is important. It's important to the mental health, keeps the mind in shape. You know, just being a constant learner, forever learner is a good thing, right? And then also hobbies can help with relieving stress. It can help you in so many different ways. So I've got to work on it. But right now, your girl is failing at this one. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video of 20 things to master before turning the age of 40. Part 1 was all about the 10 things that we discussed. Part 2 is going to be coming very, very, very soon. Until next time, as I always say, it's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. Please, please, please don't be afraid to chat with me in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.